morning, everyone. Welcome to the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority Board of Directors meeting for Friday, November 15th, 2024. At this time, I'd like to call upon the clerk for a roll call, so we can just take it away.
Chair Metcalf.
Present.
Vice Chair Beatty.
Here.
Member Clark. Member Cridland. Member Foster. Member Foster, you're on mute, but I see you're here.
Oh yeah, I'm here. Yep. No, actually, you guys just froze, by the way. So,
Member Grant.
I'm here as well. I'm also feeling that lag for some reason. The feed keeps freezing on me.
All right, noted. Thank you. Member O'Neill. Member Seaborn. Member Tattison. Member Witteveen.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We'll just the land acknowledgement. The Niagara Peninsula watershed is situated within the traditional territory of the Haudenosaunee, Adirondack, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississauga of the Credit, many of whom continue to live and work here today. The territory is covered by the Upper Canada Treaty and is within the land protected by the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. Today, the watershed is home to many First Nation, Métis, and Inuit peoples. At the NPCA, we strive to further our commitment to shared stewardship of natural resources and deep appreciation of Indigenous culture and history in the watershed in small ways every day. At this time, I'd like to move her and a seconder for the approval of the agenda. Are there any proposed changes to the agendas? Seeing none, can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Member Seaborn, seconded by Member Tattison. All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Thank you. So the motion that the agenda for the full Board Authority meeting be held on November 15th be approved. All in favor? Declarations of conflict of interest. Does anyone have a conflict of interest they'd like to share at this point? Seeing none? Good. And now we can move on to item 3, approval of the minutes. Can I get a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes from the October 18th meeting as presented? Moved by Member Cridland, seconded by Member Grant. All in favor? It's carried unanimously. Thank you. And that the minutes of the full Board Authority meeting, special meeting dated October 18th be approved. Mover and a seconder. Moved by Member Grant, seconded by Vice Chair Beatty. All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Thank you. Chair's update. The NPCA was proud to serve as the host conservation authority for the annual Conservation Areas Workshop. It is in its 17th year of operation. The workshop was held October 22nd to 24th at the Fern Resort along the shores of Lake Couchiching in Rama, Ontario. With over 125 attendees from 23 authorities across the province, this workshop offers conservation area staff and other conservation authority professionals training and learning opportunities and the chance to network with colleagues. This year, the workshop featured a full day of de-escalation and mental health training, keynote presentations by Adventure National Geographic TV star Tori Baird and NPCA's very own Adam Schultz, renowned explorer and author. Attendees also participated in learning led by Indigenous artist and speaker Lindsay Lickers, who led a beading workshop that taught appreciation and respect for traditional arts and symbolism. The workshop also featured learning sessions on parks management, enforcement, business planning, and asset management, featuring the work of many NPCA staff. Overall, this workshop is a great event for our staff and Conservation Authority professionals from across Ontario, and we at NPCA look forward to delivering another fantastic gathering in 2025. On November 6th, the NPCA hosted its annual Volunteer Appreciation Dinner. We celebrated the contributions of over 120 attendees, 7 individuals who contributed between 50 and 99 hours, and 12 contributed over 100 hours of service. It was inspiring to see how many people commit their time to support the NPCA's mandate. I had the pleasure of celebrating their service alongside many of our full authority and foundation board members. I'd like to acknowledge 2 of our foundation board members, Mike Balsam for emceeing the event, and Adam Schultz for providing a very engaging keynote for all of us to enjoy. On November 8th, the first phase of the Community Healing Garden initiated and brought forward by students from Notre Dame College School in Welland and guided by the Niagara Catholic District School Board Indigenous team, came to fruition in community and friendship. Members of the NPCA's Indigenous Engagement Working Group worked with students, staff, and Indigenous community members to plant 20 trees commemorating Indigenous Veterans Day. This was a tremendous learning opportunity for the grade 12 students, staff, and community partners that will benefit future generations for years to come. I'd like to thank Carl Dockstader and Marie Bowering for passing their knowledge and teachings of gratitude. Cindy Ecker-Flagg and Gary Parker for their advice and guidance on the garden. Principal Andrew Boone and teacher Marco Maganzetti for championing this initiative. Father Paul and Reverend Lennox and the City of Welland and Mayor Frank Champion for their donation of mulch for the garden. The NPCA provided the native trees for this planting, which were selected based on advice from the Indigenous team, including cedar, birch, maple, and oak. In collaboration with the federal and provincial partners, NPCA is hosting a public information center on Tuesday, November 19th at the Welland International Flatwater Center to provide community members a progress update on the Lions Creek East Sediment Management Planning Project and share the results of a recent ecological study. I encourage those interested and Welland residents within the Ridge Road Highway 140 area to join staff and learn more about remediation options for this site. Next week, our senior leadership team will be presenting NPCA's 2025 budget to Regional Council in Niagara for consideration. I'd like to take a moment and thank them for their diligent work on the preparation of a budget that meets the needs of our watershed and supports our staff. Around the table, we know the budget season is never easy for municipal councils. I'd like to thank the members of Regional Council for their careful consideration as they look to balance operational needs. Thank you. So we see we have correspondence, item 5 here. We have 4 pieces of correspondence before us today. Does anyone have any questions for staff regarding the correspondence before us? Okay. Seeing none, can I get a mover and seconder on a motion to receive the items? Moved by Vice Chair Beatty, seconded by Member Seaborn. All in favor? It's carried unanimous. The motion that the following correspondence be received, correspondence dated October 18, 2024 from North Bay, Mattawa, Conservation Authority regarding recommended phase-out of free well water testing in 2023 Auditor General's report. Notice of Public Information Center, Lions Creek East Sediment Management Planning, Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. Correspondence dated November 7th, 2024 from the City of Hamilton regarding the 2025 budget submissions for Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority and correspondence dated November 13th, 2024 from the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Foundation regarding 2024 Director's Challenge. All in favor? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. At this time, item 6, presentations. We have our Manager of Conservation Areas Programs and Service, Dr. Alicia Powell, joining us today to provide a presentation recapping the Thanksgiving Festival's 50th anniversary. Manager Powell, would you like to please join us at the podium? Oh, you're already there. That was fast. Thank you. Go ahead.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Chair. I just have a quick video to share in the background as I provide an overview of the Thanksgiving Festival that we celebrated just last month. So when we're ready, you can hit play. And there's no sound to the video, so we'll put that up. Perfect. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today to share a few key highlights and details from this year's Thanksgiving Festival, which also happened to be our 50th anniversary of the event. Staff across our teams acknowledge that this is a huge heritage event and part of the legacy of the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority. And it's very significant to Balls Falls Conservation Area, within the town of Lincoln, and across our watershed. Planning for the 50th anniversary began even before the 2023 event was over, and our team was committed to planning an unforgettable festival over the past year. 2023 was regarded as a record-setting year for the festival, with 3 exceptional weather days and corresponding attendance. In 2024, we had a couple cool and rainy days, the full cool day on Sunday in the rain and on Monday morning, resulting in a decrease in attendance on those days. But we had such a phenomenal Friday and an all-time high for Saturday attendance, which is reached at the Thanksgiving Festival this year. As we all know, with outdoor events, there's risk associated, especially in the fall season. But to mitigate this, we offer diverse programming across our grounds and throughout the days, and advanced ticket sales online that allow folks to come any day of the festival. But despite those rainy, cool days on Sunday and Monday at the festival, we saw well over 20,000 attendees this year. This year, we were also fortunate to receive some grant funding and support through the Government of Ontario, through the Experience Ontario program, Niagara Benchland's Destination Development Fund, as well as through My Broadcasting Corporation's radio stations Giant FM and Niagara's New Country 89, our partners who delivered to us the Canadian Content Development Fund, which enabled us to have some really enhanced musical artists on the main stage. All of this culminating to support the NPCA in delivering a celebratory event with enhancements that will help us to grow and innovate year over year. In 2024, we increased the number of craft, artisan, and gourmet food vendors up to 163 vendors across our grounds. This included many new vendors who are very excited to be with us, and many returning vendors with specialties in bath and body, jewelry, leather and woodworking, fine arts, and much more. We also reflect on the legacy of this event with returning vendors, including Delegate, who's been a vendor with us for over 40 years. In order to celebrate our staff and volunteers, we wanted to do something special. So on the Thursday prior to the Thanksgiving Festival, we hosted our celebration dinner. This was an opportunity for us to recognize all of the people, staff, volunteers, and board that made this event possible, which we hosted at Club Roma. We were very excited to honor the history of the event and celebrate together in advance. There is a lot more in store, though. In advance of the festival, we were able to launch our brand new Thanksgiving Festival website, complete with an all-new logo featuring the maple leaf, which you'll see around over years to come. In kicking off the festival, we were really excited on Friday of the event to be able to welcome the town of Lincoln as well. You see, the Thanksgiving Festival was launched on Friday with a grand opening ceremony on the main stage, followed by a formal designation of Balls Falls Heritage Village by the town, including a fantastic mini history lesson delivered by the town of Lincoln's chair of the Heritage Committee, Scott Foster, and powerful remarks by Mayor Easton. The ceremony ended with the unveiling of an all-new plaque at the entrance to the village. Now everyone can learn more about our history and the value of this site to our community. We also celebrated the 50th anniversary with elevated entertainment on the main stage, with country music artist Hebe and the Red Hill Valleys on Saturday evening, and Nate Holler and Mackenzie Lee Meyer on Monday. To carry out the delivery of these largest acts to ever grace a Thanksgiving Festival stage, we worked with TNR Productions from right here within Niagara to do so. We were also able to host and offer all new Thanksgiving Festival merchandise, and we delivered vendor swag bag giveaways, 50 each day to the first attendees or arrivals to the Thanksgiving Festival, which were filled with hundreds of dollars worth of goods sponsored and delivered to us by our wonderful vendors. We also completed a number of Heritage Village enhancements. Our dedicated group of volunteers and staff invested numerous hours over the course of the year to bring together our heritage buildings, displays, demonstrations, and all new exhibits. In 2024, we featured an all-new broom making exhibit and demonstrations performed by heritage broom maker Amy Lou Taylor. And our blacksmith shop, for example, was busy and bustling all weekend long with our dedicated smiths, hard at work, including master farrier, who is internationally recognized, Steve McConnell, and his apprentice Cora Lee, which is fantastic to see. We also had, of course, Niagara Antique Power, and I'd be remiss without remarking upon the contributions delivered by Niagara Antique Steam Power and acknowledge the legacy of the late Reg Tufford, who offered his services and programming to us over many decades at the festival. We're also excited to deliver a number of really exciting children's programming this year, from wonderful children's acts all new on the main stage to bringing back some favorites like our craft station Calvin's Magic, the Birds of Prey show by the Canadian Raptor Conservancy, free face painting, and all new this year, we partnered with local children's author Kaylee Mills to deliver a children's reading circle, which is fantastic. I'd like to thank all the staff and volunteers to the board for supporting this event with such passion and dedication to delivering our 50th anniversary. I'd also like to give mention to our volunteers Phil, Howie, Mark, and Bob, and our staff teams across Falls Falls, led by Park Manager Sarah Hutley, our team responsible for coordinating the festival, Catherine, Jalen, and Emily, our corporate services team and communication team for bringing it all together and making it possible, and the staff across this organization who supported us in carrying out the 50th anniversary of this legacy event. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Alicia. Is there any questions for Alicia from board members? No, it was a great event, Alicia. I was there on the Friday, and just to see the diverse crafts vendors and the diversity in the food vendors as well at a great event, and it's getting bigger and bigger every year. So congratulations to everyone, yourself and the teams that put this together. It was a great event. Thank you. We have a second delegation this morning, so I'd like to invite Niagara Peninsula Conservation Foundation Chair Barbara Greenwood to speak to the board about the 2024 Directors Challenge.
Button. Thank you for that. Thank you very much for allowing me the opportunity to speak with you today. It certainly is my pleasure, and it's good to be back, and I do see some familiar faces that I was on the board before, and it's good to see you all, and to all see all the new people that are here. Welcome. As you know, I am Barbara Greenwood, Chair of the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Foundation. I'm here today to formally launch the Directors Challenge. Having taken on the role of the Chair of the Foundation, September the 12th, I'd like to make a brief introduction. I was born and raised in Niagara. I've seen the region grow and change. I know the work that the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority is essential to our quality of life, and I think we all do. I've been involved with the NPCA board since 2022. I served 3 terms as a regional councillor for Niagara. I'm an accomplished fundraiser and highly active volunteer. And as a member and past president ×3 of Rotary Club of Niagara Falls, and previously with the Boys and Girls Club of Niagara, chair of their foundation. The foundation exists to support important work of the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority. Ultimately, our job is to make your job easier. The need for conservation within the Niagara watershed is as great as ever, and we are steadfast in the vision of nature for all. Our success will be even greater if we can earn trust and show a unified commitment to the conservation. And that's where you come in. A letter was sent out Wednesday. Hopefully you've had a chance to read it. If not, I know you have a lot to read. It's a really busy time of year with budgets and so on. Sharon does have copies. If you'd like to share one with Sharon afterwards, that's fine, and you'll have the opportunity to ask any questions. We've launched our capital campaign, and we're making progress. In 2023, we earned $47,000 in donations. So far, in 2024, we've earned $210,000. We are growing. And as I said, it is progress, but it's a long way off from our $5 million goal. As we asked our local businesses and citizens to donate funds to protect nature, it's imperative that we demonstrate our own commitment. We must put our money where our mouth is. If we are to confidently ask people to open up their pocketbooks to fund the important work of the NPCA, we must lead by example. What a powerful statement it would be to tell prospective donors that 100% of the directors of NPCA and NPCF have given to the campaign. I've done that myself and sat down, and I feel so good about that. And I feel inside, I can feel confidence that, yes, I'm giving. Please, would you give? In 2023, I pledged $1,000 for 5 years. I will hand Sharon my second check in December. And I'm wholeheartedly asking each and every one of you to donate as well. It doesn't have to be $1,000, although several board members last year did give that much. I'm asking you to make a meaningful contribution within your means and to do so by December 31st. In my letter, I included a pledge from, and Sharon has some of those with her today. You can use it to make your own pledge to protect our natural heritage. After all, I always look at the youngsters of today. They're the future of tomorrow. They'll be looking after us. So I want to make sure they have a good footing. We all want to make sure they have a good footing to be able to talk about the good areas that we have around here and our conservation. Maybe you'd rather become a monthly donor. Sell it and forget it. Set it and forget it. You can do that through the donation tab on the website, NPCA, mpcf.ca. And of course, you can contact Sharon, our Foundation Development Officer, and she'll gladly arrange to collect your check or your credit card details. Tax receipts will be issued for all donations. Your donation, no matter how much, is critical to the success of our fundraising campaign. And I want to thank you very much for listening and for taking action. Giving Tuesday is December the 3rd. Why not give and tell everyone what you've done? You can comment on the NPCF social media post. And I want to thank you very much for your continued efforts toward the protection of our watershed, which is so very important, and to the health of our children and grandchildren. And I always often say, as an add-on, I'll say, we have the largest conservation authority here in the province of Ontario, with the most watershed areas in the province of Ontario. We have a lot to protect. We're in between water, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, the Niagara River. We are protected by that. And the tributaries, if you look on maps, as you've all looked on those maps, it's amazing until you look at the map and see all the tributaries of water that we have here. It's truly amazing. I thank you very much for your attention, and I look forward to speaking with any of you after the meeting. And if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. And if I can't, my buddy over here, Sharon, will have every answer for you. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Barbara. Are there any questions around the table for the delegate? Yep, seeing none. Great. Thanks, Barbara. I'd like to thank you and the Foundation Board for tremendous efforts put forward to advance the initiatives of the NPCA. Thank you for inspiring us to support this work further. I look forward to hearing about the success of the Director's Challenge as we enter the new year. So thank you very much, Sharon and Barbara, for being here today. I need a motion that the delegation for the NPCA Director's Challenge be received. Moved by Member Cridlin, second by Vice Chair Beatty. All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Thank you. Consent items. Item 8, We have 2 consent items for the board's receipt today. Are there any questions around the table for staff regarding these reports? Can I get a mover and seconder to proceed with these reports? Moved by Member Grant, second by Member Foster. All in favor? It's carried unanimously. Motion that the following items be received. 8-point run, report number FA-55-24 regarding compliance and enforcement, third quarter statistics, and report number FA-53-24 regarding NPCA insurance coverage. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That's carried. Thank you. Discussion items. Report number FA-54-24 regarding the 2025 fee schedule. I'd like to invite Director Corporate Services Lise Gagnon to provide a brief overview of the proposed 2025 fee schedule presented to the board today.
Thank you, Chair Metcalf. So the report before you is to consider and approve the 2025 fee schedule for the authority. So this is a routine report that comes to the board annually in accordance with the minister's fee class policy and consistent with section 21.2 of the CA Act. The user pay principle, which is a payment for service that the payee specifically benefits from, governs when a fee can be applied and charged where there is not an MOU or cost apportionment agreement in effect. Fees are determined based on consideration of eligible costs, trends, cost recovery mechanisms, competitive environment, and other issues as outlined on page 29 of your agenda package. A fee schedule review occurs annually in conjunction with the budget cycle and once approved, published, and distributed as appropriate. Conservation area fees have already been approved by the board in July. The accelerated timing is required to accommodate wedding and venue bookings. In general, most fees have been adjusted by an inflationary factor of 2.25%, and directors are available to respond to questions relating to specific business segments and the fees, related fees. Happy to answer any questions.
Great. Thanks, Lise. Are there any questions for staff related to this report before us today? Oh, seeing none. Can I get a mover and seconder for the motion before us? Moved by Member Clark, second by Member Taddison. All in favor? Great. That report FA 5424 fee schedule will be received, and that the 2025 fee schedule outlined in Appendix 1 of report number FA 5424 be approved, and an effective date of January 1st, 2025, and that the 2025 fee schedule be made publicly available on the NPCA website. Thank you. Okay, next we have item 9.2, report FA 5824 regarding financial report, third quarter 2024. Next we have our third quarter financial report. Director Gagnon is available to answer any questions related to report FA 5824.
Thank you, Chair. Did you want a summary of the report, or am I just to respond to questions?
Yeah, if there's just any questions, we've seen the report, so if there's any questions regarding the report FA 58. No, seeing none? No? Oh, I'm sorry. Member Foster has a question.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yep, and yeah, thank you, Chair Metcalf, and before I start, I do apologize to our various members of staff that got to spend a lovely evening watching us debate about police services last night, and anyway, that's been delayed. That was very unfortunate, and don't take it as offense. I think it's a smart move to move us to later. Regarding this report, and I always ask this question of Lee, so is there anything that we need to be concerned about as we've come through the third quarter and going into the fourth quarter? Are we in line with everything that you expect us to be, or are there any areas that you feel we need to just be a little cautious of as we approach the end of the year?
Thank you. Through you, Chair. Actually, no, Member Foster, the variances are in line, and in fact, we're closer to operating budgets than we have been in a few years, largely because we've managed to, when it comes to the salary envelope, the compensation review project has brought us in closer to where we need to be, so we're not managing significant vacancies in the workforce. So that's helping us come in where our projections were. So we're only looking in terms of expenses at a variance of only $7,400. The capital spend at this point in time, our completion rate is at 68%. So there's nothing, as you put it, that would keep me up at night at this point.
Great, thank you. Thank you very much.
Are there any other questions for Director Gagnon? Seeing none, can I get a mover and seconder on a motion to receive the report? Moved by Member Cridlin, second by Member Foster. That the motion FA 5824 regarding financial report third quarter 2024 be received for information. All in favor? That is carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 9.3, report number FA 57-24 regarding agreement of services between the Corporation of the Town of Niagara on the Lake and the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority. So we have our service level agreement between NPCA, the Town of Niagara on the Lake, presented for board approval. This was approved by Town Council at their October 29th meeting. I'd like to invite Director, Conservative Areas, Adam Christie, to provide an overview of the report and agreement before us today.
Thank you, Chair. And as the Chair mentioned, yes, this is an MOU with the Town of Niagara on the Lake and the Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority. You will notice Schedule B focuses on Virgil Conservation Area and the dams and reservoirs within the conservation area. And I just wanted to state that what is in this MOU has been the current practice that both the town and NPCA has been doing over the last few years that is now we're just formalizing. So happy to take any questions.
Great, thanks, Adam. Are there any questions? We have one. Member Seaborn.
Thank you, Mary. Mr. Chair, through you to the Speaker. This is an interesting program. Are you doing this with other municipalities within the NPCA or within the region?
Thank you for the question. Through you, Chair. We are not, just because this is a unique property that we really only have in the town of Niagara on the Lake, where we kind of have this irrigation support for the residents of the town. So no, not because we don't want to, just because it's a unique situation that we have on this property.
Are there any other questions for Director Christie? All right, seeing none, thank you. I'll look for a mover and seconder for the recommendations included in report FA 57-24. Can I get a mover and seconder for that? Moved by Member Tattison, seconded by Member Grant. All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that's carried unanimously. Thank you. So that report FA 57-2024, agreement of services between the Corporation of the Town of Niagara on the Lake and Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority be received, and that the agreement of services between the Corporation of the Town of Niagara on the Lake and Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority be approved, and that the CAO, Secretary, Treasurer, and the NPCA Chair be authorized to sign required documents to execute said agreement. And further, that the final executed agreement of service between the Corporation of the Town of Niagara on the Lake, Niagara Peninsula Conservation Authority, made publicly and available on the NPCA website. Thank you. So we've already voted on that in favor. So item 9.4, report FA 56, 2024 regarding the 2025 meeting schedule. At our last meeting, we discussed some desired changes to the meeting calendar as we look to 2025. I'd like to invite Manager Office of the CAO and Board, Melanie Davis, to speak on the proposed 2025 meeting schedule presented for board approval today. Go ahead, Melanie.
Thank you, Chair. Through you. So as you recall, we brought forward the meeting calendar at the October meeting in new business just to discuss some changes with the office relocation and kind of shifting demands of the full authority board to make sure that our schedule was, keeping up pace with the needs of our members. So based on the conversation, we had a look at the meeting dates and have shifted away from a firm every third Friday of the month. You'll see that a good portion of full authority meetings in the latter half of the year are proposed to take place on the fourth Friday of the month. And I think the biggest change of note for consideration around the table is that we are proposing meeting times to be pushed back 1 hour to start at 10 a.m. Happy to take any questions, or if there's any discussion or items you'd like to take away to revise, we can certainly do that. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Melanie. Are there any questions of staff regarding the 2025 meeting schedule? Seeing none, can I get a mover and seconder for this report? Moved by Member Seaborn, seconded by Member Cridland. So the motion that report FA 56 2024 regarding Board of Directors 2025 meeting schedule be received, and that Appendix 1 to report number FA 56 2024 regarding Board of Directors meeting 2024 meeting schedule be approved, and that the meeting schedule be published on the NPCA's website for public information, and further that the meeting schedule be circulated to participating in local area municipalities. All in favor? And that's carried unanimously. Thank you. So I'll move on to item 10, committee reports. I'm sorry? No. Oh, I just saw you move there. I thought I missed something. Thank you. I'm nervous up here. So item 10, committee reports, none. Item 11, motions. Are there any motions to be brought forward for the board's consideration? Seeing none, we'll move on. Notices of motion. Does anyone have a notice of motion they'd like to present today? Seeing none. New business. Item 13, 13.1, verbal update, Niagara Peninsula Conservation Foundation. For the start of new business, I will turn it over to Member Cridland to provide an update from the foundation. Donna, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. Well, we've had a wonderful delegation. So first of all, I'd like to thank our foundation chair, Greenwood, again for her leadership. And another event is coming up that you can maybe consider is there's a fundraiser event on December 19th. So I will have you maybe check out our website for more details. It's just come out. So look forward to seeing some of you maybe at Balls Falls. Thank you, Chair.
Great. Thanks, Donna. Are there any questions regarding the foundation? Member Foster.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. When Barb was talking earlier, our internet sort of glitched out. So I'm just wondering how have the fundraising been for this year, because we missed that number.
$210,000, Member Foster, for 2024.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, 2023 was $47,000.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks once again to the foundation. Excellent work. So we have no other questions for for Donna at this time from the, for the foundation. Now we'll be moving into closed session. Item 14, we have 2 items on the agenda for closed session. Oh, there are 3 now. There's just been amended here. So we have 3 items for the agenda in closed session. I'll need a mover and seconder to move into closed session. Moved by Vice Chair Beatty, second by Member Tattison. All in favor? It's carried unanimously. That the motion of the full board authority meeting scheduled for November 15th now move into closed session at 10:45. 9:45, sorry.